Hello everybody, welcome to Deluxe Collectibles, and today I'm going to be ranking all of the brand new LEGO Ninjago 2020 summer sets. These are including the Season 13 sets and the Legacy sets as well. Now, in total there are 12 sets, but on this ranking it will be a list of 10 because for the Spinjitzu Burst packs, I will be including all of those on one part of the list. They'll just be bundled together because I figure that they're so similar, there's no point in giving them each a separate number on the list when I'm probably just going to have about the same opinion with each of them, no real favoritism between every single one of them, so they'll just be bundled together, and then otherwise the rest of the list, those sets will be separated. And if you don't know how my lists work, of course, number 10 is my least favorite, number 1 is my favorite, and for each set I will be giving it a score out of 5. Then at the end of the video we will have the total score, which will be revealed, and I will also tell you my want list for the wave as well, just so you know which ones I plan on picking up in the future. And if you do go on to enjoyed this video, it would be really appreciated if you could leave a like and also subscribe for future content. I plan on doing more rankings for these 2020 summer sets for other waves and themes, so hopefully you'll stay tuned for those. I would really appreciate the support, and let's get straight into it here with number 10. Alright, here we have the first LEGO Ninjago Legacy set here on the list, and this one is the Storm Fighter Battle. This one is set number 71703. It's going to include 165 pieces and 3 minifigures, and this one is at the bottom because, for one, it's a 4+ set, so the builds aren't as great as the other sets. I mean, I understand that, of course, it's catering to that 4+ demographic, but I think that it's just nothing spectacular, and even the minifigure selection is lacking quite a bit. I mean, Jay, Kai, and Lasha right here, we've got them all previously in other Legacy sets, so I don't feel like it's really necessary to have them in another set here, just sort of repackaged. And these builds just feel very lacking, especially Lasha's vehicle. It looks very bare bones, and Jay's lightning jet there, I mean, it has just been done a disgrace. I mean, it is just not well done in this build. So for this one, I will be giving it a 2 out of 5. And now let's move on to number 9. Okay, so here we have the LEGO Ninjago Journey to the Skull Dungeon set. This one is set number 71717. I know a lot of 7s there. And this one is the first Season 13 set here on our list. This one is going to include 401 pieces, and it'll include 4 minifigures. Now, the interesting thing about this one is that for the ninja in this set, they're actually labeled as heroes here before their names. Like, it's Hero J, Hero Lloyd, and Hero Nia as well. And then the villain for this one, his name is Mert, and that's a pretty interesting name, I'm not going to lie, but I think that overall the set looks pretty cool. It's just, like, I'm not a huge fan of this one just because it kind of feels, it's just lacking in comparison to the others. The play features in this one aren't anything really spectacular. I understand that obviously you have to use a bit of your imagination here, of course, that's a big part of LEGO, but there isn't really anything that has that cool of a function. Of course, you have the cage that you can kind of pull up, but I don't think that that's really enough in this set. I think that it's a cool sort of like diorama sort of piece, and the minifigures are good here, but you can get them in the larger set, so I just feel like this is one that you don't really necessarily need. When I'm looking through a wave of sets, I normally try to see what's the easiest way or the quickest way I can get all of the minifigures so that I have all the different variants of them, and I just feel like this one's not a necessary one that you need to pick up. Now, I think that it's good if you do want to complete this sort of board game that they're kind of advertising this as. It's a really interesting tactic that they're using with kind of showing how it can combine with the other sets. I think it's very smart on LEGO's part because, of course, it's a great way to make people want to collect all of the sets, and they may even get me, but really only if this set goes on a good sale eventually, then I would consider picking it up, but definitely it's nothing that's that spectacular in minifigure selection or with the build. I think it looks fine. It's an average build in my opinion. So for this one, it's going to earn a 3.5 out of 5. And now let's move on to number 8. Alright, now we have the LEGO Ninjago Zayns No Creature set. This one is set number 71719, and this one's going to include 616 pieces, and I think that is absolutely insane. I don't know, when I took a first look at this set, I was under the impression that maybe it was like a $25 set, but like I was just totally out of the ballpark there, because with this one including that many pieces, I mean it's bound to be at least a $40 set, at least here in Canada. I would assume that's at least what it's got to be, but I do really like the set with this one. I think that this wave does a good job of having quite a few really good sets, so even the lower ones here at the number 8 spot are actually still pretty good sets, and I like the inclusion of Zane here. It's nice that we're getting a minifigure of him. Cole looks really great as well, and then we're getting 2 of these little grunts here who are pretty interesting. They kind of look like little purple goblins, and they're both named Gleck and Ginkle, so some pretty interesting names there, G and G, which is kind of interesting. So a pretty cool idea there. I think that their sort of like designs are pretty unique. It kind of gives me a more medieval kind of feel, which definitely works very well for this theme. And I think that the rhino looks really cool as well. It seems to have quite a bit of detail around it. I really like how they use those rock sort of pieces on it, because it definitely gives it that extra amount of detail and takes it to that other level. And with this one, what's also interesting is that we can see they have a somewhat like sort of like health bar with like 3 hearts there. So I'm kind of interested maybe if that's like their lives in this, because it's kind of played as a sort of like game. So maybe it's that they kind of have to progress through the levels without losing 3 of their lives. So I'm not sure if that's how it's going to work, because that sounds more like what they're doing right now in season 12. So I don't know if they would do something like that in season 13. So let me know what your thoughts are on that, or if I'm just completely off with the speculation there. But overall, I think this is a really well done set with a very large build here, a surprisingly large build, and I think overall it just looks really great. I want to mention something else as well, is that I really like the uniforms for the ninja in this wave. I think it's really cool how they've kind of changed it up to almost make it look like it's a mix between Ninjago and Nexo Knights. I think that was really well done. So just overall a really great set, and this one is going to earn a 4 out of 5. And now let's move on to number 7. Okay, so here we have the LEGO Ninjago Spinjitzu Burst pack. So the first one that we're going to go over is Cole right here, and we're going to use him as the example here for how the play function works for these Spinjitzu Burst packs. Now, of course, to fully experience it, you're going to have to get your hands on this, but I'll do my best to sort of explain it here. So it seems like you load the like little spinner there into the build, and then you're able to smash it down. It'll come out, kind of expand itself, and then retract back in. So it kind of looks like it goes into like an attack mode and then retracts back into a defensive mode. So I think that's definitely a really interesting build there and a unique sort of idea. So I do like that, how they're sort of changing these up. I mean, one of Ninjago's main things are having these smaller packs here where you can get some really cool exclusive minifigures. So I do like what they're doing with that. And then the main thing to comment on here, of course, is the Cole minifigure. I think that he looks really great, and I love how we're getting those bamboo hats there. Now for this one, it looks to just be in a black color scheme here, but for the other ninja that we have in these Spinjitzu Burst packs, they have some pretty cool colors to them, and they're also utilizing what I'm pretty sure might be the legacy legs. I don't know, honestly. I think it's a reuse on the legs from a previous ninja outfit for each of them. So let me know if you know the exact wave that those are from, or the exact sort of like, yeah, wave of Ninjago. But I think that it's fine because it does match pretty well with the torso and the head as well. And then the next one that we have here is Kai, and he looks really great as well. I'm always kind of partial to Kai, and I really love how he looks with the gold and red there. I think that those two color schemes just go together really well, and I really love the packaging also. I think the artwork on one of the sides sides looks really great, and I just like the shaping of this one. It definitely makes the packaging very interesting, similar to when they did the arcade pods. That was a really great idea, so I'm glad that they're continuing with a sort of unique packaging style. And for this Kai minifigure, he looks really great as well. I love these like Spinjitzu Burst sort of style ninja outfits. I think that they look really amazing. And then the final one that we have here is Lloyd, and he looks really fantastic as well. I like his design quite a bit. Of course, we're bound to get Lloyd. He's kind of the main ninja, I would say now, next to maybe like I think it would be Lloyd, and then I'd say Kai would kind of be the next one to be in the main ninja, but I think that Lloyd definitely takes center stage, so of course he has to have one of these, and I think he looks really great as well. It makes a lot of sense with him, considering his element is like energy, so it makes a lot of sense that he would have all this energy sort of surging around him as sort of like lightning energy, it almost seems like, so that's really interesting. And for the bamboo hat here, it's cool how we're getting it in like a silver color scheme. I think that looks really nice. So just overall, all of these Spinjitzu Burst packs are really nice. I love how they're done. I think it's a cool sort of function as well. So for these ones, they're all going to earn a 4 out of 5. And just so you know, it'll just count as one 4 out of 5. It's not like 3 separate 4 out of 5 scores. So these ones will get a 4 out of 5. And now let's move on to number 6. Alright, now we have Wus Battle Dragon, and this one is set number 71718, and this one is going to include 321 pieces and 2 minifigures, which are going to be Hero Wu and Gleck. So it's once again pretty interesting how they have that hero title above their name there, even Wu right here, who isn't technically a ninja, more of their sensei, so it seems like he's probably going to be a pretty big part of the action here, and I really love the Wu is getting his own dragon here. I think it looks fantastic, considering in the US, I'm pretty sure this is going to be a $20 set, but it seems with the conversion now for Canada that this may wind up being a $30 set, because I know for the Harry Potter ones, the $20 set is now going to be a $30 set over here in Canada. So just so you know, for any Canadians, keep an eye out on the price for these. It hasn't been like finalized or anything, but it could potentially be $30 now instead of $25, but I still think the value is here for this set. I really like how the wings are done there. I like that piece that they're using, or the 2 pieces there with the plastic. I think that looks really nice, and I think that overall the build of the dragon looks really great as well, considering it's a smaller scale set. I think that they still did a good job of making the dragon feel substantial enough, and I think it was smart on their part to not include as big of a like side build. I think that was smart, because then you can of course utilize more pieces for the main dragon build, which I think is definitely what shines in this set. And once again, it's nice to be getting Gleck as well, and I think this Master Wu minifigure looks really great as well. So just overall, a really well done set, and this one is going to earn a 4 out of 5. And now let's move on to number 5. Okay, now we have another LEGO Ninjago Legacy set, and this one is the Kai Fighter. This one is set number 71704, and it is going to include 513 pieces. Now, I really like this set because I was never able to get the original Kai Fighter set from that rebooted wave, so it's really nice that we're able to get this set now kind of done in a new sort of style, or like at least revamped and kind of upgraded here, because it is quite similar to the original model, but I still think that they made some necessary upgrades here, and I like the play features here. I'm not exactly sure how the wings kind of pop out there. I assume that, I mean, it kind of looks like you're just meant to turn them manually, but I know on the original set that there was just like a button, I'm pretty sure, or a tile that you could press down on that would like open them up. So I'm not sure the style that they're going to do that in. Let me know if you know, or if I'm just missing something on the box art art here, but from what I can see, it doesn't exactly show you, but it is interesting still nonetheless. And of course, I really like the color scheme here. I like the added bits of black as well with the gold and the red. That looks really nice all together. And it's cool that we're getting Kai as well in this set with that new minifigure there. Now, Lloyd is an old minifigure from the, I'm pretty sure it was another Legacy set with Jay and Cole, the Thunder Raider, I think it was. So that is a reuse of a minifigure there, but it is still okay to include it here. I figure that, I mean, you're still getting Kai, which is really nice as well. And I like the Ninjroids right here. I think they look really great as well. So just overall, a really well done set. And this one is going to earn a 4.5 out of 5. And now let's move on to number 4. Okay, now we have the LEGO Ninjago Firestone Mech set. Now this one is set number 71720, and it's going to include 968 pieces and 5 minifigures. And those minifigs are going to include Hero, Cole, Nia, and Kai. And then you're going to get Mo and Mert, who are going to be the baddies for this set. And I think that overall this set has a really cool design. I know that a lot of people were kind of comparing it to the Monkey Kid Mech and kind of how that one is like a superior version of this set, but I think on its own, I think this one stands pretty well. I like the design of it, especially the unique sort of design between the stone side of it and then the fire side as well, and I really love how you're able to put both minifigures in the cockpit for this one. I think that makes a lot of sense because, of course, Cole is the Earth Ninja and then Kai is the Fire Ninja, so it makes a lot of sense that they would both be able to pilot this mech at the same time. And then you're also getting Nia in the set, which is another really cool inclusion. And I just think overall it's a really nice build. I love how they're using for both of the swords that the mech's holding, a silver one and then a gold one. And around the chest it looks pretty good. I've heard some people saying they're not a huge fan of the head build. And yes, I don't think it's perfect, but I still think it's decent enough. I really like the printing on the top of it as well, with the sort of like fire symbol there with the like dragon right there. I think that's a very nice print on that, and I think that just overall it's a well done set. I think that it has a really nice presence as well, just with the height of it. I think they made a really good use of all of those pieces there without including any large side builds that would kind of take away from that, so I can definitely appreciate that. So just overall it's a really well done set, and this one is going to earn a 4.5 out of 5. And now let's move on to number 3. Alright, now we have the Skull Sorcerer's Dragon. Now this one is set number 71721, and this one's going to include 1,016 pieces, and it's going to include 6 minifigures, and those are Hero, Jay, Nia, and Kai. And then you're going to get the Skull Sorcerer, the Awakened Warrior, and then another Awakened Warrior as well. So some pretty cool minifigs there. I really like the Skull Sorcerer's design, and this dragon in this set looks fantastic. I really love the design of this one. I think it does a good job of kind of switching up the classic sort of dragon design that Ninjago tends to use, and I still really like the wings that they're using as well. I like how there's a lot of holes in them. It definitely makes it look like this dragon has gone through a lot, and it would make sense because it's kind of the idea of like almost like a dead dragon, I would say, because it's just all skull and bones at this point. But just a great amount of detail here. Not like any super amazing play features in this one. I do like how it's able to drop, like, I don't even know what that is, maybe like an egg or something that it's like holding in its rib cage there, which I just think looks awesome. I really love the mixture of the like lime green there with the white on the dragon. I think that looks really nice. And then just overall a great selection of minifigures here. I really like all the ninja that they chose for this one. And then And once again, that Skull Sorcerer just looks great. I really love the skull head that they're holding as well. I think that has a really cool design to it as well. And I think the side build in this one is actually really well done. I think that this one can combine into the larger like game for this wave. So I think that that's really cool that they were able to include that in this set and not only have the dragon there. So just overall a really fantastic set, and this one is going to earn a 5 out of 5. And now let's move on to number 2. Okay, here we have the Legacy Destiny's Bounty. Now this one is set number 71705, and it's going to include 1,781 pieces, and it's going to include 7 minifigures. Those are going to include the main ninja here with Kai, Jay, Zane, and Cole, and then you're also going to get the younger version of Lloyd in this set, and then you're also going to get Wu and Nia dressed up as Samurai X here. And just so you know, that Samurai X minifigure is a newer version of it from the previous one from the last Legacy wave, so it is nice that they're kind of updating that one, so it's like we're getting 2 new minifigures in this set, because the rest of the ninja are still just in their regular Legacy designs that we've already gotten in set. And the really cool thing about this set is how Lloyd has the green eyes there. It's kind of like they're rewriting history here, because of course when the original like season 1 and 2 premiered, we had Lloyd with just the black eyes when he was younger, but now we have him with those green eyes, which is pretty cool. So it's definitely really hinting towards him being the Green Ninja if this was how he looked in those original designs from season 1 and 2. So I think that it's kind of good that they didn't go with that in the show originally, but I still think it's okay that they kind of changed it up for this Legacy set here. And I think that the Destiny Bounty build is great. Like, it looks fantastic. I really love the little training area that we get in the set as well. That looks really nice. It kind of reminds me of the Monastery Spinjitzu like little training set that we previously got in another wave. I think that was kind of similar to what this looks like, but it's nice because this one's packed into a much larger set. And I really love the brick built dragon head on this one. I really like the style of it. I love the gold like swirl there that they use for the eyes. I think that looks really fantastic. It's cool how we have the functions of the sails opening up and the sort of engines there as well being able to move. There's a lot of cool functions on this one, and I'm definitely super excited for this set. I haven't even built my my Destiny's Bounty from the Lego Ninjago movie, so I don't even have that much experience with the Destiny Bounty sets. I don't have any of the other ones, so it'll be cool to get this one for my second one in my collection. But yeah, it is a fantastic set, and this one is going to earn, of course, a 5 out of 5. And now let's move on to number 1. Alright, so here at number 1 we have the Skull Sorcerer's Dungeons. This one is set number 71722. It's going to include 1,171 pieces and 8 minifigures, which are going to include the following: Hero Lloyd, Zane, and Cole. Then we're going to get Princess Vania, which, let me know if I'm mispronouncing her name if you know how to properly pronounce it. Then we have the Dark Sorcerer. Then we have the Awakened Warrior, Ginkle, and Mert. So a pretty good range of characters here, and just this set here, it really reminds me of Garmadon's Dark Fortress from one of the first waves of Ninjago, and I think that that's a really cool sort of reference to that. I don't know if it's intentionally doing that, but I think that it does a good job of kind of representing that, and I really like the design of this like dungeon here. I think it looks really fantastic. I love the like kind of medieval sort of vibe to it. It definitely reminds me of like an evil sort of castle that they have here, but more of course like a dungeon, I would say, as the name says. But I think that it has a really cool design, especially with that skull on the front. I think they did a great job of designing that. And then just the obstacles overall, I really like the play features of this one, where you have to kind of avoid all of the different like booby traps on your journey through this dungeon, and I think that's really great. And of course, this one's one of the best ones because it's what's leading up to from all of the previous dungeons that are a part of this game in this Season 13 wave, and I think that that's really impressive how they were able to craft all of that. It's similar to maybe like a D&D sort of game, I would say. And then I haven't commented on this thus far in the video, but I wanted to comment on that game piece that they have the ninja in. I think that that's a pretty interesting piece. It kind of reminds me of like a dice of some sort, so I'm not sure how it's going to come into play while you're playing the game, but I think it looks pretty interesting nonetheless, just as a piece on its own. And then minifigures selection wise, I think it's great with the 3 ninja that we get, and then the 4 baddies, and then Princess Vanya, who we don't really know if she's on the evil or good side. I'm not too sure. Let me know if you have any information on that without any spoilers or anything like that. Of course, I don't think many people will know because the season is not out yet, but she does look like a really cool character with some nice prints on her. And just overall, I feel like this is a really well done set. I love the design of it. I think it's great that we're getting, of course, that main villain here with that sorcerer, some great printing there, and just overall a really menacing sort of base for the villains here in this wave. So for this set, I'm going to be giving it a 5 out of 5. And now let's move on to my want list for the wave. For my want list for this wave of Ninjago Season 13 and Legacy sets, there are a few that I definitely do want to pick up, and then there's a few that I'm not too interested in. So the ones that are going to be included on this want list are going to be the 3 Spinjitzu Burst packs. I really like those. I always try to collect those sort of smaller packs because they do usually include an exclusive minifigure. Then the next one would be Wus Battle Dragon. I think this is a great little set here. I really like how we get that new version of Wu there. I think he looks really fantastic. And then I would have to say next up would be the Legacy Kai Fighter. I think that that's a great upgrade to the original one, and since I don't have that one in my collection, I feel like this is one that I would definitely want to add to it. And then the next one would have to be the Firestone Mech. I think this is a great looking mech. I don't care what people are saying about the Monkey Kid one. I think that that one is fine, but I still do like the design of this one. I think it's really well done, especially with that half and half split between fire and stone. I think that's a really interesting twist to it and how you can fit 2 of the ninja in it. And then the next one would be the Skull Sorcerer's Dragon. I think this is a fantastic dragon. I actually haven't purchased a Ninjago dragon in quite a while, so I'm really excited to get my hands on this one because I think it looks fantastic. And then the next one would be the Legacy Destiny's Bounty. I think this is a great upgrade to that original bounty, and it's really cool that for collectors who didn't necessarily have the ability to get that previous set from the original wave because they might have not had the monetary funds, such as I didn't. So now that I actually have some money that I can use to purchase this, I'm definitely going to be adding it to my collection. And then the final one in my want list here would be the Sorcerer, or the Skull Sorcerer's Dungeons, the largest set for the Season 13 wave. I think it's a fantastic set, as I said previously. So those are all of the ones that I have on my want list here. And now let's move on to my final verdict and score for the wave. Alright, so in conclusion for this wave, out of a score of 50, it managed to score 41.5, which converts over to 83%, and I think that that is a fantastic score for this wave of sets. I think they're all fabulous. I really do like the designs of each and every one of them. The only ones that I didn't have on my watch list were the ones at the bottom of my list, and those included the Legacy Stormfighter Battle, the Journey to the Skull Dungeons, and then the Zayns No Creature. Those were ones where they didn't really include any exclusive minifigures, and I didn't feel like I necessarily needed to add them to my collection. The build on Zayns No Creature is pretty well done, and I would consider picking it up at some point if it went on a really good sale, but just initially it's not one that I'm going to go after straight away. But I think this is still a fantastic wave of Ninjago sets. I want to say as well, thank you for all of the support on my LEGO Ninjago Season 13 13 Legacy news video. The support on that video is insane at the time of recording this. I think it just hit about 8,000 views, so that is absolutely insane. Thank you so much, everybody, and welcome to all of the new people who have subscribed as a result of that video or some of my other news videos. Thank you so much for the support. I really appreciate it, and I hope that you enjoyed this video. I tried to go as in-depth as possible as I could because I really wanted to share my thoughts on these sets, and stay tuned to the channel for my ranking videos for the other waves of sets that were revealed for the summer of 2020. I hope that you all go on to enjoy those videos as well, and just thank you so much. If you could leave a like on this video, it would be heavily appreciated, and also subscribe for any future content on the channel if you want to stay up to date. Thank you so much. I will see you all next time, and always remember, keep on collecting.